Good morning. Welcome to Morning Transformations with Dr. Shana. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so excited to be with you yet another morning. I just love having these morning conversations with you, and it really does my heart good to be able to share just some thoughts and some things that perhaps have helped me along my way that really could perhaps help you too. To have an amazingly wonderful morning, because the way you start is the way you're going to finish. So today's thought is just about checking your front row. Uh, y'all, sometimes I think we really have to be more protective of the folks we allow in our front rows. When you go to a show, let's say you even at a concert, for instance, and you're sitting in the front row, that means you have the best vantage point and view to the person who is there performing, right? You can see everything. You see what they got on, you see their hair, you see them sweating, you hear them singing the best. You're really close. And so front row folks usually pay a really high premium to have that kind of access. Now, the difference between the front row at a concert and the front row in your life really shouldn't be that much different. I want you to take a minute and consider who are the people that are sitting in your front row of your life. One of the things I want you to know about them is that not only are they in the front row, but it means they have point blank range access to you. So, have they paid a high premium to be that close, to have that kind of access? And exactly what do they bring to the table? Now, at a concert, the front row means, I need you to be excited. I need you to be hyped. I need you to bring that great energy because you're right here with me. I feed off of you as someone who performs, who speaks, and I engage with audiences everywhere. Even when I'm doing lives, I always ask, talk to me. Give me feedback. Don't sit in silence. I need your energy. That's what helps me along the way. It's the very same thing at a concert. So if you're there and people are being negative or they just sitting there looking at you, you really don't get the vibe that they hear with you and they're understanding what you're saying and that they're for you. So in your life, it's the very same thing. Who's in your front row? What kind of energy do they bring to your life? Y'all, some people are so miserable themselves, depressed, sad, and I'm saying these are things that they need to work on for themselves, but they're in that space, and what they bring to you, if they're in your front row, is the all of what they have for themselves. You see, I can't give you anything that I don't have available to me right now. Like, you could want $1 million, but if all I got is 10, that's all I got to give. I can't give you what I don't have. So when you look at the people in your front row, what is it that they really bring to the table? And I'm not saying they got to bring money. I'm not talking about cash. I'm not talking about these kind of things. I'm saying, what is it that they add to your life? So if you are around a bunch of people who are excessively negative and all they do is suck life out of you, then you look around and you wonder why you feeling sad and depressed. It's because you allowed that in your space. And if you don't know anybody like that, then perhaps maybe you are the one that I'm talking about. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm really wanting you to be enlightened this morning so you can decide how you choose to spend your day and who you allow in that space. See, I am a believer that you have to protect your space. I am so protective of my time, my space, and my energy because I only get one dose of that every day. And once 24 hours is gone, it's gone. And once my energy is depleted, I'm empty. You know what I mean? So I have to be really careful who I allow in that space. So consider the 5 people who have the greatest access to you, whether that is your children, your mate, a parent, a sibling, a coworker, a neighbor. I don't know who that might be, but I want you to consider the 5 people who have the most access to you. And as you're considering them, I want you to consider what they bring to that front row. Are they bringing that positive energy that is pouring into you, and not even just pouring into you, but just adding to your experience in a way that feels good. It doesn't mean they're always telling you, you're so amazing. That's not what I mean. I don't need somebody to toot my horn, but I need you to bring some positivity into the space to add to that which I already have available to me. Because if you bring negativity, what happens is you suck out what I am working to put in, which makes it kind of difficult. How you know what folks bring to the table is looking at how you feel when they leave your presence. So if you're in a room with people and maybe you walked in the room and you were excited, like, yes, this is a great day, and you show up, you interface with them in whatever way that they bring their energy. And when they walk away or you walk away, you feel some kind of way depleted, less energetic, less excited than you did when you showed up to that room. Perhaps that is an indicator that that person in your front row is not adding to your situation. They are only subtracting from you. You might want to reconsider your admission fee, y'all. Sometimes you let folks in at a general admission ticket to the front row and they don't need to be that up close and personal to you. You might want to raise your prices. And I'm saying raise your prices, raise your standard, raise how you allow folks to interface with you. Because if I allow you to come in for general admission and you sit in the front row, you think you have front row privileges, which means you have more access to me, but I've actually given you that kind of access. So whatever negativity you bring and you show up with, and however I feel afterwards, I can't even blame you for it. Today, no longer can you blame someone else for the negative energy they bring to you, or you have allowed them to be in that space. Own that yourself and say, I've allowed that negativity in my space. Whatever impact it's had on me is mine, and I will not today allow that to happen again. I will shift my front row. I will move some folks to general admission where they probably belong. Maybe they don't even belong in the show at all. I don't know. You get to decide that. But wherever they need to be positioned, move them to the appropriate places. Maybe the front row isn't 5 deep. Maybe it's just 1 or 2. Sometimes we have too many people on that front row. It's a little overcrowded. And then you have the wrong set of folks that are there. I want you to consider in your life, who in your life in that front row is really good for you, in the sense that they add in a positive way energy to the space when you're together. Perhaps maybe they support you or they encourage you, but you can also do that same thing for them. Remember, relationships are reciprocal. It's not always what I can get, but it's also what I can then offer and give to others around me. But you want to pay attention to what folks add to your space first. So consider today, take an honest look. Who in my space that's in that front row doesn't need that seat? In fact, they need to go to general admission. They don't need to be here at all. And who maybe have I been keeping in the nosebleeds, who really is a great person to help encourage me, who pours into positivity in my area, in my space, and I need to move them up a little closer. Survey it, family. Tell the truth and say, you know what? Here's the reality. It may be difficult, I know, and sometimes y'all say Dr. Shana's being messy talking about this kind of stuff, but I think it's necessary. In order for you to have an amazing day, you got to surround yourself with the people who support what you are working to do. And even if, I'm an entrepreneur, so I have a circle of people around me who also are entrepreneurs and who are in that same vein and support the work that I do, but bring positive energy into the space. But maybe you're not an entrepreneur. Maybe you're a mother, or maybe you work for someone else, or maybe this is about your spiritual life. I don't know what your front row needs to look like about any of those aspects of life, but you got to consider who is around you in whatever aspect of life it is that you're working to be your best version of yourself in. So just consider it. You're going to have to make a decision, though, family. You know where I'm headed with this. Today I decide to no longer sit inside of a space where my front row is negative and they only suck life out of me. Today I decide to choose a front row that adds to my life. Today I decide to choose a front row that adds to my life. Today I decide to no longer allow those who mean me no good, who suck life from me, to have that kind of access to me. Today, I decide to maintain and take back my control of the energy and space that is mine to begin with. Y'all, make the decision to create a front row that pours back into you and adds into you. I also encourage you to be a member of somebody else's front row that's also positive in that way. Majorly important. We all have to be in a reciprocal space of giving and receiving. I think that's really, really, really important. I'm hopeful that this thought encourages you to really survey those around you and consider what transitions or transformations need to occur in order that you are able to create a front row that is helpful for you and being the best version of yourself. We've heard the saying, I'm living my best life. Well, you can't live it if you are surrounded by a front row that don't mean you no good and that do not add positively to your life. So today I decide to choose a front row that adds to my life. Today I decide that. You guys have an amazing day. Amazing, amazing day. Remember, I'm always rooting for you, and your next transformation is only one decision away. Make it a great one. Decide today to choose a front row that adds to your life. I know you can do it. I'm rooting for you. See you tomorrow.